Hey everybody, it's Matt from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to show you my future Trunks, my deck profile, and this is the Trunks leader from set 23. Oh, that set was so good. 2 Trunks decks. Anyway, so the leader is activate main once per turn. You can discard 1 Saiyan or Earthling from your hand, and you get to play 1 green my future, bench cost of 1 from your deck, and then shuffle. Which is very relevant. So, obviously, awaken 4 or less, or you got 3 or more Earthling tokens in play. It's a 1/1, so you draw a card, get energy back, flip it over until you got 6. And then we go on to the awaken side of your leader. So the permanent is all, if you have a green Saiyan card in play, all of your Earthling tokens gain barrier. And then also once per turn when he attacks, you can play up to 1 green my future with an energy cost of 1 from your deck or drop. And then if you went through your deck, obviously you shuffle. And then if there are 10 battle cards between you and your opponent, he gains 10,000 power. So the Z deck, start off with, we have 3 copies of the Mai. Well, when she's played, if you're the leader, you play an Earthling token. She's got auto limit 1. When she attacks, you switch an Earthling token to rest mode. She gains 11k power, so she can be a 15k attacker. And that's it, basically. And then we got 2 Vegeta Fusion in the future. It's got auto limit 1. If your leader card is green Vegeta card, or green card with both Trunks future and my future, when he's played, you get to play a Son Goku Fusion in the future from your deck or drop. So it's in the main deck, obviously, because he's the extra card. And then shuffle if you look through it, but he does play the card in rest mode. And then auto limit 1, remove this card from the game. When your Trunks future with energy cost of 8 attacks, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. So, yeah. And then we got 2 copies of the Final Hope Slash. So this is how you go for your win condition. Because it's activate main limit 1, if your leader card is green card with both Trunks future and my future, your opponent's got 4 more energy, you switch 3 of your Earthling tokens to rest mode, remove this from the game, and then when your 8 cost Trunks attacks, your opponent can't activate counters. And that's that. So onto the main deck. For the extra cards, it's just all negates. We got 2 of the Uneasing Awakened Rage. Auto is irrelevant because the errata's got rid of that. You can discard a card to activate its negate. And if you cast a skill from your hand by discarding a card, yeah. And then if you discard an additional card, every time your opponent attacks, they got to take a card from the hand to put as the energy to make additional attacks. Very, very powerful card. Even if you do discard 2 cards, or if like you pay 1 and then discard a card, it's crazy good. 2 Shocking Death Balls, Spark in the Gate, 500 drop, Rip a Life, or pay 1. When you negate with it, you can pop a 2 or less card, and then you got your token. Blockers, negates, so 5 or less, you can Rip a Life or pay 2, play a token that's got blocker. So the 1 costs, I'm going to show the Mi's together because they're pretty much carbon copies of each other. So this Mai, when it's played, you get to look at top 5 cards of your deck for a green Saiyan with or Earthling range cost of 4 or less. This one, when it's played, you draw a card. They both have an activate main where you switch them to rest mode and play an Earthling token, but that's limit 1. So you can't just spam these out and then go like, oh, I'll switch like 4 of these to rest mode and get 4 tokens out. And then the last 1 cost is the Fusion in the Future Goku, which is the one I explained before with the Vegeta. When he's played from hand, you get to draw a card. And then when this card is played by a skill of your Vegeta, you choose one of your leader cards and he gains 5k. So it's a way of giving your leader a bit of a buff if you need to, but it's really never really going to happen. It can if you go for the Vegito play, but it's one of those filter things. 2 costs. We've got the Trunks. So if you have a My Future card in play, you can reduce his cost by 1. So it just becomes a 1-drop. He's got 5k, but when he attacks, you switch a Earthling token to rest mode, and he gains 5k power. So he's an early game attacker. He's also a nice card that you can just bring out late game just to put an extra attack on. And then the other 2 cost is just the super combo of choice for the deck, where I've just gone with the 4 or less bottom deck to draw 2 Gohan. And yes, I've done a 2-2 split on the arts. I don't know why. It's just how it's happened. The 4 cost for the deck. And I kind of show these together because they all do the same kind of thing. You got Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku. They all have a permanent. Their cost gets reduced for each of your Earthling tokens in play, but you can get so many Earthling tokens in play really quick, so they're all basically 1-drops. Then each of them have the same type of skill. Right, if I just move these extra copies out of the way a second. Right, so they all have auto when they attack, limit 1. You can switch an Earthling token to rest mode, and then they each draw a card. The only difference between them is they all have a different skill after that part. The Trunks allows you to combo with a 5k from the drop. The Vegeta lets you pop a 5 or less. And the Goku lets you remove markers from a unison. It removes 2 markers, and that's it. So they're kind of your aggressive cards to the deck. They're the way you help push. And getting them out quick is really good. And they're a way of drawing through your deck. The leader doesn't draw, so your draw power is these Gokus, Vegetas, Trunkses, your super combos, and your mice. They're the only way you're going to gain card advantage to hand. And then of course we've got the 6 cost Vegito. So it's got Deflect, Double Strike, Union Patora. When this card is played, you get to draw a card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Then this card gains barrier until your opponent's turn. It's got Activate Main, limit 1, paying 2 green if your leader card is a green Vegito, or a green card with both My and Trunks Future. And your opponent has 3 or more energy. You play up to 1 green Vegeta, energy cost of 7 from your hand on top of this card in active mode. So you can swing with this and then pay the 2, go into the 7 cost, get it in active mode, and then you can do its shenanigans. Because it'd be a shame if you lost out on a double strike. So the 7 cost Vegito that I just mentioned because of that. He's got Deflect, Double Strike, and Blocker. Union Patora for free, but of course the idea is to ignore that because this is a free Patora. So then you only just pay the 2 energy to bring this out. If you're paying free to do the Patora, something's wrong. Auto once per turn. When this card attacks, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. And it's got Activate Main once per turn. If your opponent, if you and your opponent have a total of 10 or more battle cards, switch this card to active mode, and your opponent discards 1 card from the hand. So you can swing with your 25 double, and then get him back as a blocker and make your opponent discard a card. It's a nice little package for the deck. So for the 8 costs, now we've got 2 Gohan because he's generic green, great card. It's got Double Strike. When he attacks, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignore barrier and KO it, and then they discard a card. We ignore the auto once per turn for this deck because we don't have a Goku. I mean, there is one could run, but don't bother. And then Activate Main, limit 1, paying 2 green. When he's played, if your leader card is green when he's played, he just gains barrier for a turn. Then for the other 8 cost, we've got one more card after to show. We have the boss of the deck, the 8 cost Trunks, where everything revolves around. Z extra cards. When he attacks, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier and indestructible, and KO it. And then activate main, limit 1, paying 2 green. If your leader card is green and you got 3 or more energy, you play this card from your hand. And then during this turn, when you play this, the next time you play a green Z extra card from your hand, you reduce its specified cost by 1 green. So you pay 2 to play out the trunks, then you pay 1, drop 2 Z energy to play out the Final Hope Slash. And then activate battle once per turn. If you've got 4 or more energy and you switch 3 of your Earthling tokens to rest mode against 5k triple strike. So the idea is to build up until you've got 6 or more Earthling tokens in play. Play this out, use this skill immediately, send it off, tapping the 3 tokens. If your opponent's got 3 life, you may as well go straight with the trunks. Swing, they can't negate because of the Final Hope Slash. Use this to activate battle, put 3 more Earthling tokens to rest mode. He gains the power and triple strike, and then just go nuts. And then the last card deck is the secret rare Shenron. This is literally only in here because Jonah pulled an extra 1. So it's like, well, may as well use it, get some nice use out of it. It's also a pretty card, and it is also quite a nice card to use in any green deck. It's got deflect, permanent, and then it can't attack, but you can reduce its cost by 1 for each card in your drop. This deck can get a lot of cards in drop pretty quickly, so getting its cost down is pretty easy, but again, it's just really good for green. And then it's got 3 skills that's once per turn where you can choose one of the 3 skills to do. So you can either give one of your battle cards indestructible, you can either steal one of your opponent's cards, battle cards or unisons, and get into active mode, or the last skill, which is really irrelevant for most matchups, play any number of your opponent's battle cards with universe in their special traits from your opponent's drop into your battle area. So there's only a few matchups where that's going to be relevant, but if it does come up, you're probably getting a lot of battle cards and just killing your opponent in that turn. So if anybody's ever had that scenario, awesome. Sadly, I'm probably never going to get that scenario. So for me, it's just the first 2 skills, protecting my own things and stealing cards. But there you go, guys. That is my future trunks, future my deck profile. Leave any thoughts in your comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.